Hi Stampers, my name is Carla and I posted a card last night, this cute card that I made for my grandson, and I figured that there were a lot of new stampers out there, so I figured that I'm going to show you how I make them from scratch with scrap paper before I actually put them on the real paper saves being cardstock. It's a 3-layer card along with a 1/4-inch grosgrain ribbon, and so I'm going to show you how I set up a card just in case you might be a new scrapper, and it'll show you how you can save time and effort and money on supplies. So let's get started. First I cut a piece of scrap piece of paper for cardstock, and this was a 8.5, I'm sorry, a 5.5 by 8. Let me see. I think it was a 5.5 by 8.5. I took some Old Olive, great ink, and we're going to stamp with the Cute and Cuddly stamp set. And I'm going to use for the background stamping first, I'm going to use the cute stamp that says Welcome Little One. So we're going to take the Old Olive ink, and then we're just going to randomly, you can stamp it in any, the first one didn't stamp too good, but you can stamp it in any pattern. That you choose. And that's why I like practice cards. I make those first so that I don't waste supplies. So then I know whether or not I want to change it to something else. And this might not look like my original card, but so see, if it didn't look good on one side, I can turn it over. And it didn't come out exactly how I wanted to. So I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to try again on the other side. And that's the wonderful thing about using practice cardstock. So let's try that one more time. Much better. Much, much better. So, as you can see, I'm just stamping randomly, just so that they're not all bunched up. And I actually stamp them at an angle, going down the page. Okay, so that's the background stamping. And then I decided, okay, well now I knew I wanted to layer it, and I figured I wanted to see what the ribbon would look like on it. So I previously stamped it last night when I made the card. I stamped it where I colored in the inside of the, let me zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. I made the inside of the, that's good. I originally colored the inside of the bear, but then my son said, nah, Mom, that doesn't look too good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stamp another one without coloring the inside of the bear, because that's going to be my top layer on the top of this card. So the first layer that I cut is going to be 3 1/4 by 2 1/4, and that would go on the top of the card. And that's going to be, originally, if you look at the original card, that's going to be the Old Olive color. And then on the top is going to be the top layer with the bear on it, and that is cut at 3 by 2. So what I would do is take out of the Cute and Cuddly bear set, we're going to stamp the bear on the very top piece. Very good. Okay, now what I did with the original card is I took the very top piece with the bear and I put glue dots, stamping dimensionals, I'm sorry, on the back of the top piece with the bear, and I stuck it to the second layer, the Old Olive. And then I laid it on the card, and I wanted to see where I was going to set it at. So let me pull this card in. I laid it on the card to see where I was going to set it at. And I said, oh, okay, that looks right about good. So I lined everything up to make sure that it looked okay. And then what I did, and I'm like, okay, I know that that's where I wanted it to go. I took some brown chocolate chip road grain ribbon, the 1/4 inch. I said, let me line it up to see what it will look like. So I put that down and I lined it up. And I'm like, okay, that will look good. Now, I didn't want to glue it down because, again, I didn't want to waste supply. So then I put the paper on top of it to see how I can get it to line up the way I wanted it to. And it's kind of hard when you're not using glue to stick it down, but at least you can see where you want it to go. So I figured, okay, I lined it up right about there. And I said, okay, that gives me a base of my card. Now, the little piece of the original card that you see the little bow here, well, on the little bow, I took the ribbon itself is cut at 5.5 to go across the card. Then I took a little bow at 3 inches and I cut it and I slid it underneath because I only added adhesive to the two very ends of the ribbon. I stuck another piece, I clipped it at 3 and I stuck it underneath the ribbon itself, and then I tied it in a knot and I clipped it off. Then I added 2 of the old olive green buttons from the Fresh Favorites 2 from Stampin' Up, and I put it in the belly of the bear. And then I took some snail adhesive. I took the old olive layer first and I taped it down. Added the Stampin' Dimensionals to the top with the bear in, and I put it on top of the old olive. And then I put that over top of the ribbon so it would stay in place. And then added my ribbon at the end. And so I'm hoping that this is helpful to, and then you can add you can either add it's a boy or it's a girl on top of it if you choose to. But then I'm hoping that this will have at least given you some help of saving your supplies, but at least kind of stamping out, or at least drawing if you choose to. I saw that on the Kay Warner design blog at one time, where she always drew her pictures first, but I figured, okay, let me try it this way first to see whether or not I can get it to save some time, effort, and money on my supplies by stamping it out first to see what my card will look like. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, you can check me out on my blog. Talk to you soon. I'm off.